Circus performer Millie Kays swallows the head of a 12-foot python inside a hotel bar in 1952. Residents of Venzone, Italy, carry naturally preserved cathedral mummies in 1962. A male television presenter tests an inflatable push-up bra in Paris in 1952. A 19th century studio photograph demonstrates an extreme restraint for controlling an unruly child. Dr. Young's rectal dilators were marketed in the late 19th century as cures for headaches and nervousness. Members of a Canadian naturist club sit through an outdoor sermon in the 1960s. Trampoline inventor George Nissen tests his creation with two kangaroos in 1960. Would you have stepped onto the trampoline with them? The 1939 beauty mask uses heated coils and promises to melt wrinkles away. Contestants in a Princess Diana look-alike competition hold up their chosen royal hairstyles. Corset maker Mr. Pearl displays the tiny 45-centimeter waist that made him famous in 1980. A circus performer rides a zebra along a Yorkshire road in 1935. Richard Gere takes a telephone call from the edge of his swimming pool in 1982. A scold's bridal once punished women accused of gossiping, arguing, or speaking too freely. The pincushion man poses in 1931, with long needles threaded through his cheeks and neck. A hippopotamus receives an improbably formal birthday cake in 1957. What kind of birthday present would you choose for a hippo? A B-17 ball turret gunner squeezes into one of the most exposed combat positions of World War II. Strongman John Jennings, promoted as the modern Samson, poses for a cabinet card in 1899. A young Diana Spencer cuddles a guinea pig long before becoming Princess of Wales. Marilyn Monroe spits out a drink during an unguarded moment in 1952. Members of a Scottish women's climbing club scale a cliff in long skirts in 1908. Richard Nixon reads paperwork while sitting on his bed in 1952. Idaho's 1935 Potato Queen poses in a surreal heap of oversized spuds. Guests wear surreal masks at the Rothschild family's famously theatrical costume ball in 1972. Which costume in this photograph is the most unsettling? The cast of Baywatch gathers between takes during the 1990s. Eight-year-old Mark plays Monopoly while lying calmly on a bed of nails in London in 1976. The White House interior is stripped to its shell during the massive renovation of 1950. A young John Kerry speaks against the Vietnam War in Washington on April 21, 1971. 4-year-old Barack Obama rides on his grandfather's shoulders at the beach. Animal trainer Jack Bonavita sits calmly among his big cats in 1905. Michelle Obama and her brother Craig Robinson posed together as children in 1969. Safety Officer Clifford Roberts demonstrates protective clothing by standing amid flames in 1965. Would this demonstration convince you that the clothing was safe? Hotline operators use wall maps and telephones to guide callers around a city in 1963. 10-year-old Angelina Jolie attends the 1986 Academy Awards with her father, Jon Voight. Joe Arity gives away a treasured toy train shortly before his execution in Colorado in 1939. A sequence reveals the elaborate framework hidden beneath an evening dress around 1860. Kim Jong-il rides a tiny amusement park car in Pyongyang in 1977. Dazzle Camouflage uses clashing stripes to confuse estimates of a warship's speed and direction in 1919. Visitors cross a frozen landscape at Niagara Falls in the early 20th century. Queen Elizabeth II plays with her children at Balmoral Castle in 1952. Do you prefer photographs of royalty in formal or private moments? Moviegoers recoil during the chest-bursting scene from Alien in 1979. Passengers exercise inside the Titanic's surprisingly well-equipped gym in 1912. A young Olaf Scholz appears at an anti-NATO demonstration in West Germany in 1982. Volcanologist Arpad Korner hangs above the blazing crater of Stromboli in 1933. News photographers crowd around Socks, the Clinton family's cat, in 1993. 13-year-old Princess Elizabeth receives a swimming award in London in 1939. A poster advertises Le Pitoman, the French entertainer who built a lucrative act around controlled flatulence. An experimental Farman aircraft carries rockets attached directly to its wing struts in 1915. Would you trust a pilot to test this rocket-equipped aircraft? Raquel Welch pauses during a lively television appearance in 1972. The crew of the Enola Gay appears in a victory parade after the Hiroshima mission in 1945. A Senufo performer wears an elaborate mythical creature costume in Burkina Faso in 1952. Bruce Lee poses beside his Wing Chun teacher, Ip Man, during the 1960s. An enormous arch made entirely from chairs welcomes Queen Victoria in 1877. Trepanned skulls serve as teaching specimens for medical students in 1951. Arnold Schwarzenegger uses two friends as extra weight while training his calves in the 1970s. Las Vegas bathers watch an atomic test mushroom cloud rise about 75 miles away in 1953. Would you have stayed in the pool to watch the cloud? Doctors administer electroconvulsive therapy to a patient in 1961. Snoop Dogg and Tupac Shakur share a candid moment during the 1990s. Louis Vuitton popularized flat-topped trunks that could be stacked far more easily than rounded luggage. A 2-year-old child lights a cigarette in Los Angeles in 1927. Helena Bonham Carter relaxes between scenes while filming Planet of the Apes. Members dine beneath the redwoods at California's Bohemian Grove in a rare 1924 photograph. 15 people squeeze into a classic Mini during a record attempt in 1966. Freddie Mercury has his famous mustache carefully trimmed in 1982. Did the mustache become Freddie Mercury's most recognizable feature? French soldiers display a papier-mâché cow built as a hidden sniper post during World War I. A model demonstrates an elaborate exercise machine in the United States in 1937. A young Nicolas Cage trains intensely during the 1980s. Passengers use individual oxygen tubes aboard an unpressurized commercial flight near Boston in 1939. 4 armed women pose after helping capture men who had terrorized their neighborhood in 1950. Ernest Hemingway shares a drink behind bars with Spanish matador Antonio Ordonez in 1959. A late 1930s fire engine includes a small running platform reserved for the station dog. Actors rehearse a kiss while wearing protective masks during a flu outbreak in 1937. Would these masks make a screen kiss feel safer or stranger? Fidel Castro joins a basketball game during a visit to Krakow, Poland in 1972. A husband, wife, and their 11 children dress together for Palm Sunday in 1954. Towering ceremonial dancers perform in the village of Tawai, Papua New Guinea in 1921. A young Michelle Obama turns a backyard sprinkler into her own amusement park around 1970. 9-year-old Eunice Winstead Johns poses beside her 24-year-old husband in Tennessee in 1937. A giant potato photograph boosted sales in 1889 until the wooden prop behind the hoax was exposed. 15-year-old Sophia Loren appears at the Miss Italy contest in 1950. A model wears surreal eye and hand jewelry designed by Salvador Dali in 1959. Which piece of Dali's jewelry looks the most wearable? A giraffe leans down to lick a visitor at London Zoo in 1931. Cher performs on stage during her Love Hurts tour in 1992. Madame de Vere poses with her 15-inch beard in Chicago around 1890. Clown Emmett Kelly tries to help during the deadly Hartford Circus fire of 1944. Diana Spencer and Camilla Parker Bowles are photographed together during the 1980s. A British boy sits casually on a naval mine at the end of World War II in 1945. This 19th century hair tool was filled with hot water before being drawn through the hair. Steve Jobs and Bill Gates share a rare, relaxed conversation in 1991. What do you imagine Jobs and Gates were discussing here? An 1880 circus portrait shows a man whose size alone was once promoted as an attraction. A 1950s chart claims that 9 ways of holding a cigarette reveal 9 personalities. A Persian woman poses beside a hookah in the early 1900s, framed by striking brows and jewelry. French schoolchildren were still served wine with lunch until the practice was banned in 1956. A London cat's meat vendor sells scraps intended as food for household cats in 1933. Marilyn Monroe smiles while exercising with a pair of small dumbbells in the 1950s. A man reads while wearing a facial exercise device in 1959, taking self-improvement very literally. A photographer carefully positions a sitter from Papua New Guinea for a portrait in 1944. How would you feel being photographed in this carefully staged way? Pacific Southwest Airlines flight attendants model the airline's colorful 1970s uniforms. Parisian women tear at a Dior model's dress while protesting the luxury of post-war fashion in 1947. Thousands of bags filled with looted gold and silver are recovered from Nazi Germany in 1945. Schoolboy Farrokh Bulsara, later Freddie Mercury, holds a sports trophy in India in 1958. 2-year-old John Wilson Webb, already weighing over 54 kilograms, poses with his mother in 1909. Workers pose beside Gutzon Borglum's original scale model for Mount Rushmore in 1941. Martin Luther King Jr. confronts American Nazi leader George Lincoln Rockwell in 1965. George Gillette weeps as tribal leaders sign away vast ancestral lands in North Dakota in 1948. What emotion stands out most strongly in Gillette's expression? Officials stand beside a vast pile of confiscated opium pipes in 1923. George H. Bush and Vladimir Putin share wine during an informal meeting in 2000. A German man stacks banknotes during the hyperinflation crisis of 1923. Marilyn Monroe enjoys breakfast in bed at Los Angeles' Bel Air Hotel in 1953. Donald Trump and Michael Jackson sit together aboard a private aircraft around 1990. Sophia Loren shares an affectionate portrait with her younger sister Anna Maria in 1955. Horace Riddler, known as the Great Omi or Zebra Man, displays his full-body tattoos in 1925. Arnold Schwarzenegger and actress Sally Kirkland relax at a Los Angeles party in 1977. Who looks more surprised by the camera in this party photograph? A patient's signatures over 15 years trace the progression of Alzheimer's disease. Swedish Major Eric Bond lights a cigarette after being shot twice in Congo in 1961. Bill Clinton and Hillary Rodham play volleyball together in 1971. Monks at Tokyo's Asakusa Temple prepare for wartime service in 1936. Traveling sideshow performers gather for a group portrait in 1932. Gillian Anderson jokes around between takes on The X-Files during the 1990s. Two cars enter the circular auto wash bowl, designed to clean muddy wheels and axles in 1924. Physicist Harold Agnew holds a component associated with the Fat Man atomic bomb in 1945. Would you have recognized what Agnew was holding without the caption? Future Action star Jason Statham stands at the far right with Britain's diving team in 1990.